It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
All right, we have time for a couple more questions. Claire.
Claire Belanger, we've sat here in this media center a couple of years and had Jack Roush talk about how important it is to have the manufacturer win. And I would like for Rick to talk a little bit about Chevy hasn't won since 2001 here. Dale Earnhardt Junior talked about it. People were saying maybe Toyota would come here and win and what that would mean, but you got a Chevy win here. Can you just kind of talk about that and what it means to you?
Well, you know, the manufacturers do put a lot of importance on this race. And I remember I remember that coming up here today. In 2001, my dad was really sick in Charlotte, and I was with him when Jeff won, and that was our 100th win, and it was here. And we get an awful lot of calls prior to and after this Michigan race from Chevrolet and all the General Motors people. So it's a lot of pressure, and we always try to run good here, and it's been a dry spell for GM and Chevrolet. So I know they're excited. They were here this morning, and we were working with them and trying to get us a little help in the Bush area or the Nationwide area with some motor, and so anyway, it's real special for all the employees. A lot of folks in those stands are GM employees or Ford employees, and so everybody wants bragging rights here. So they're a big sponsor, and they've been here a long time, so it's really good to do it here.
All right, one more question.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Stiffy's taken a lot of criticism, and a lot of people just don't understand the relationship that the two of you share. For the people out there, you know, the doubters, everybody who's pointed to him and said it was, you know, his fault, and to win a race like this where you have to have the ultimate trust in the person who's calling the shots for you, can you put this all into perspective?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's a little underestimated, but that trust is there every time I climb in the car, and I wouldn't choose this job. I would go do something else if I didn't believe in my crew chief and didn't have faith in what kind of race car he built. And if I didn't have that option and opportunity, I don't feel like that this would be very enjoyable. But you know, he's I'm his worst critic. He's my worst critic. We want the best for each other. We want to see each other have an amazing time at this and see each other just experience so much success. But you know, if we're feeling like, and we had to be working together, so if we feel like we want the most for each other and that's not happening, or somebody's taking, or he's taking, you know, if I feel like he this works both ways, like he feels the same way I do, but if I feel like he's not going down the right path on any given Saturday or Friday, we talk about it, and we talk about it how in our own way. And there's times where we get together in a room, close the door, and we just go at it, and it's great, because I don't want to go back and sit in the bus or stand around in the garage stall biting my lip and get angry. You know, we got to go at it, and it's great. It's because by the time it's over, we get the result we want, especially with this opportunity and this equipment, and we go, man, thanks for hanging in there. We did the right thing. This worked out. And there's a lot of things that you can do. You know, there's a lot of things you do as a driver. As you get better and older in the sport, you become more professional. The way you talk, how you handle things. There's things you quit saying. There's time you stick your foot in your mouth less often, and you dress differently, better, whatever. But there's one thing that I'll never change, and that's how me and Tony Jr. work together. And people are just going to get used to it, because that's just how we are. That is that, and it ain't going nowhere. I mean, when we win, obviously the big problems are little problems, and the little problems are gone. But as long as we work together, which I hope is forever, we're going to go at it, because that's just how we want the best for each other. We want the best out of each other. And people can talk, but you can write that story. If that's what you want to write for your rest of your career, you can write it. But because it'll always be there. I'm just, we just go at it, and I think it's important. If I show up on a race weekend, and Tony Jr., and if I had to go out there and I give 80%, and Tony Jr. doesn't chew my ass, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be worried, because he pushes me, and I need it, and I push him to make sure he's doing what he's supposed to do. And we have I think it's old school, our ways of doing it, how we MF each other on radio and stuff, but that's just the way it is. I mean, I think it's old school. I ain't, it's been there for years. You should have heard Suitcase Jake and my daddy when he worked on the Bush team, in the mid '80s, way before Jake was, or way after Jake was. I don't remember what Jake was like when he was with Daddy on the Cup side in the '79, '80s, but in the mid '80s they went to work together on the Bush car, the black and silver Goodrich car at Nova, and that lasted a week. But so we ain't nowhere near as bad as they were. But it's as unhealthy as it sounds, as unhealthy as it took our team. Our team would look around like, what the hell's going on? It takes people a while, but as unhealthy as it sounds, it's healthy. It's a healthy part of how we get our end result. And we just have a way. He's one of the few people in this world where I can lay it down, and I can even be wrong. You know what I mean? But I can tell it like it is, and even if I'm wrong, terribly wrong, he doesn't change exactly how he feels about me, and so I'm fortunate. I know there's other great crew chiefs out there, but in my mind, he will be considered, at the end of this whole deal, in my mind, he'll be considered one of the greatest, and I don't want to get beat by him.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Take it. Take it. I like that. Hey, buddy. How you doing, man? Pretty good. Got it. Good.